Good morning, angels. I'm actually curious what time it is for you because on my computer it is 9:03 and on my phone it's 9 o'clock. So I'm always curious, like, I don't know what time I start for you all when you tune in. So if you're watching this, like, definitely let me know. I'd be curious to know that. And I don't know why my computer is 3 minutes ahead of me, 9:03 right now. It's 9 o'clock on my phone. Um, but who knows? So if it's 9:03 for you, 9:03. Uh, Let me know what time it is for you. I'd be very curious. The discrepancy in time. I love it. I love it. All of it is now though. That's the most important thing. So good morning. Good morning. It's day 6 of 21 Days of Angel Songs. And this morning when I woke up, again, I was like, what frequency are we tuning into today? What are we curious of today? And the angel of patience is what came through. Patience. And I was like, that's very interesting. What is here with that word and with that energy? And what came through so much through that was that patience is really a gift. It's like the period of time where everything is being prepared in order to deliver what it is that we have either asked for or what's calling forward or what is in most alignment in every now. So in every moment I feel and I am tuning into, we are in this moment of patience, right? Because we don't get everything in this now and then that's it. We're always continuously receiving in every moment, in every now. And so for that moment to happen, there is patience needed in order for that to come. So this beautiful energy of patience, I think it's so wonderful. And it's what's coming through really strongly, came through this morning, was that with patience, there is sometimes I think in our very like get things done, get it now kind of world, especially in the West, especially with like Instagram and Facebook, the likes, the comments, like the instant gratification of receiving, you know, receiving that sort of I think dopamine is the word. Don't go beyond that. I'm not sure, but that sort of hit of like gratification. We're so used to that. So when we are tuning in and calling forward things into our hearts and into our reality and aligning our frequency, aligning our like vibration, like the vibration of the frequency to then pull forward what it is that we want. We can become impatient because we want it now, and we also don't have the how. We don't know how it's going to happen. We don't know when it's going to happen, but it's the belief that it will happen. I think that keeps us going, especially in that patience. So patience is a really beautiful experience where we get to really feel the full expansiveness of the moment until we receive what it is that we're asking for, right? And the most beautiful thing that I find with patience is that when we really surrender and let go of how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen, then when it happens, it's like this most wonderful, like, oh my goodness, here it is. And sometimes we don't even realize that it's happened until later. And we're like, oh my God, I asked for this last month, yesterday, a week ago, last year. So there's this beauty of like, it's like you're ever surprised in the moment. And two, I want to presence this with patience, like in speaking of like allowing it to happen. This does not mean that we don't take action. It does not mean that we don't participate in the receiving of that. It's continuously taking action that is aligned, that is inspired from the heart, and that is informing and in support of what it is that you want and that it is that's coming forward that you desire. For example, like I'll use an example for my life. I, would like to sing on a stage again, would like to do another performance. So one of my actions is practicing my voice and singing every single day. That's an action that I'm taking, right? And it's so simple. It's so very simple. But the simplicity and the small action, or I say small, not that it's small, but just that, simple action every single day informs everything around us, informs the universe, spirit, God, whatever is the spirit of your understanding, informs that, okay, yes, she, he, they are putting forward the action, the energy, the yes, that yes, I'm a yes to this, and I'm aligning to this, and I would like to let it come forward. And again, surrendering to how it shows up. I think that's a lot of how we get sort of tripped up or stuck, or feeling of stuck, right? Because we're never stuck. Energy is always moving. It's just a matter of what we're focusing on and where we're putting our energy. It's really that space. Oh, interesting. My train of thought just went. Sometimes that happens, but it'll come back. But yeah, patience is really beautiful, because I think a lot of times it's like when we state what it is that we desire and get clear on the feeling of that, and it's just like, oh yes, I so want this. It's the surrendering of the how, and like that statement, between that statement and it arriving in the physical and the way that is meant and most aligned for you. That's the space of patience, which is such a beautiful blooming space, because in that clears all of the things within your vessel, within your experience, within your reality, that are in a resonant match to the frequency that you're calling in and that you're aligning to. It also creates the space for you to get used to that frequency. And sometimes it's very quick. Sometimes it's like you call it in, boom, there it is. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer, because if we really think about it, right, we have this awareness, this consciousness awareness, then we also have our subconscious, and then there's all of these other things, right? I'm in the image that I'm being shown is like the horses that have like the I think they're called blinders, so they stay focused on the road and forward. They have this, but there's all of this other stuff that's going on that we don't see, right? So it's that sort of image where it's just like focus, clear intention, understanding how you would feel, and really feeling what it would be like to have that thing, and also like getting clear about what are the subconscious beliefs that maybe don't believe that, right? Because it's really belief. Like if you believe that you're meant to have something, or experience something, then it will happen, because belief is so incredibly powerful, and that's a lot of where our subconscious lives. And if there's something that was picked up when you were 5 years old, like a belief of I'm not good enough because my parents said this, or my friend, or whatever it was, right? The subconscious belief that's under, that's really what's navigating a lot of what's here. So really getting clear on the beliefs, and that space of patience is where we can go really deeply inward and tune in and say, okay, this is something that I want. What's here? And letting everything that's here, your reality, because reality is a reflection of what's going on within us, really show you it's always here. It's always available for us to understand and to tune into, and reflecting with others too, because sometimes we don't always see our blind spots, right? That's why they're called blind spots. We don't always see them, but someone else who doesn't have necessarily the emotional investment in our lives, right, can show us or reflect to us, this is what I'm noticing, this is what I see. And we can receive that and say, okay, I'm in resonance with that or not, and keep on moving forward, right? So it's a constant reflection, ebb and flow, inhale and exhale, expansion, contraction. We're constantly in this ebb and flow. So just coming back to, this space of patience, like slowness is good. Like I'm someone that moves very, very fast. But I'm also someone that really loves slowness. And for me, it's been this beautiful balance of how can I allow both to exist, and really tune into which one is the one that I need for this, right? So I can be in a period of slowness, but certain aspects of my life I can move very quickly in, because that's the energy that's required, and also the one that's resonant for me to go in. But I know that for me, in this winter time, I've also been very slow, a lot more quiet, and really allowing and following the pace of my truth, and really discerning and tuning in, like, is this truth? Do I really want to go slow, or am I going slow because of maybe a subconscious pattern that's coming into the conscious? So that lots of patience. So with your desires, with your gifts, with your things that are coming forward, that you're calling in, that you're manifesting, get clear on what your beliefs are truly, like what's the underlying belief under all of the things. And also just patience, allowing, doing the actions that you are able to do in this now, that are aligning and also in resonance and in support of what you're calling in. And patience, yeah, and sometimes and really a surrendering to how it shows up, because oftentimes it shows up in ways that we couldn't even imagine with our conscious mind, and it's even better, or sometimes it looks like it's a disguised blessing, so be open, be curious, be willing to receive what it is that you're meant to receive in the exact moment, and trust that it is always bringing you closer to alignment and closer to that resonant frequency of your heart. Yeah, and patience. Slowness is good. Taking your time is good. Linear time is not the only time that's here. Linear time is how we operate here in the third dimension, but everything is now. So knowing that what you state and what you believe and what is here is now, and it's just aligning in the physical to come to you. Yeah, and sometimes it can come as a surprise, and sometimes things come to you, that you planted years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, who knows, like came, and then they show up and you're like, what, you're like, what's this? Wow, this feels so random, out of the blue. But know that you're always co-creating your reality, and you can always say no, and you can always say yes. And sometimes, but this is something that's coming in right now in real time, is sometimes we ask for what we want or what we desire, what we think we desire. And then what we are gifted after we state that, because the universe, God, Goddess, Spirit always responds immediately. And so whether we notice it or not, and continues to respond. So the beauty is sometimes we ask for what we desire, and the universe then gives us exactly what we need to receive clarity. Because sometimes what we think we desire and we want, we don't actually want. There's an underlying need or an underlying desire there, that actually is more nourishing. And so we get shown and receive what to get clarity on that, so that's another thing. It's like when we slow down patience and we actually tune into what is here right now, and what is this gift of this moment right now. Yeah, that's the beauty of patience. I think that's the beauty of slowing down, is just observing and bringing in that witness energy too. So I'm going to now ask who our guardian is, although I'm always asking who's our guardian of the day. I'd be curious to know and to hear, what is your relationship with patience? Because I know for myself, sometimes I can be very impatient. Like, I want it now, or how do I get it done? Like that sort of high masculine, like action, get it done, da da da. And sometimes it's like, let me take a step back and actually see. Maybe I don't need to do anything. Maybe what requires of me is just to let it go and take a walk in nature, which is also, again, anything that supports you, anything that nourishes you, will also bring forward your desires and bring forward clarity around that, clarity around the subconscious beliefs and all of that. So, yeah, what's your relationship with patience? And I'm asking, who is our guardian of the day today? Who is our guardian for this beautiful angelic frequency of patience? I love when they just pop right out. All right, today we have Kuthumi, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. And I love it. It has the snake and this beautiful ankh with the Merkaba, and the Om. This is such a beautiful art that's here. Yes, I love that it focused. Kuthumi, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. And here is his beautiful image. Such a beautiful, I love his energy. He's so warm and calm. And this very, Cloak of Wisdom, quite literally. What's coming through with this is that space of, there is no rush. Okay, I want to share that. That's something that's coming through really strong, especially now with that, our revealed guardian of the day. There never is any rush. I have found in my own experience in life that if I ever feel urgency in the sense where my nervous system is flared and it's in stress, that there's something that's not quite in alignment there. You know, like the desire and the want can be organic, but if it's requiring a lot of heavy stress on my body and this like rush, it's not really that. What I've found is that when it's in alignment and when it's there, like, and I want to say too, just pausing for a moment, like there is something about like stress or like a charge, right? Like a raise in frequency where there is like this like excitement and it moves quickly, but that's different than rush. Rush feels more obligatory, more forced, more like it has to happen. I have to make it happen. That kind of energy, and that I know for me, when I have that coming in, I'm like, let me take a step back and actually see what's here. And it can be, you can work with that totally. If there's a rush and you do it and it's urgency, go for it. And that's beautiful and perfect too. But for the most part, I know for myself, if I'm in that mode, I begin to lose sight and start to really go into those blind spots that I may have. So yeah, and there is beauty in urgency as well. There is an energetic to urgency that where it's like it's inspired. There's like an ease with it. Like yes, it's urgency. It's like get shit done, but there's this sort of thing which is just like boom, okay, yeah, I got this done. I'm doing this. Like there's that kind of urgency where it's just like because it lives through you. It's this passion. It's this energy that moves through you. It's not forced. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. There's so many multi layers to that, but definitely, and this is also very specific to every situation. Every situation is different, and sometimes there's an urgency that's a part of the work that sometimes maybe is unavoidable because of the circumstances. So again, tune in. You always know. Tune into your discernment and your guidance, and you always know the wisdom of your heart. This is what I love about Kuthumi, is that you really do already know the answer that you seek. And in asking for the desires that you want and then being patient in receiving them, tuning into what is the need that is desired, that is the underlying of what you're asking for, and ask how can you give that to yourself in this now moment before that comes in. Excuse me. Yes. Okay. Clearing the throat. I love that. Ask for what you need, right? Because we are, there's sometimes this talk about needs are bad and, attachments and things like that. I'd like to bring forward a reminder that we are human, and humans, we do have needs, and there's different levels of needs. We need water, food, sleep, rest, these are needs as well. So needs aren't bad, or good. They can be very neutral. It's just a matter of like, is this need in alignment with my heart and with my sovereign space, with my discernment, with what it is that I am in alignment with in my own inner truth. So just bringing that forward too, where it's like, can we give ourselves what we need in the moment, while we are asking for the things that we want and being patient in receiving them. And sometimes even like the what we're asking for and the desire, sometimes it's just even us going into a new version of ourselves. Sometimes that's the ask. It's like I would like to be in this space of ease within myself. And so sometimes it's that and patience and letting that all fully align, to come forward. So yeah, there's so many multi-layers to this. I could probably talk on this for 2-3 hours, even more. All right, let's tune into what is our message for the day in this beautiful, beautiful space of wisdom. I love that. I love that. All right, it is answer the call. What is your soul your soul calling you to do? Bring that forward. What is your soul calling you to do? Beautiful image. I love that so many of these images have water in them. I'm such a water element. So, what is your soul calling you to do? And I think this is really beautiful. And the image that I just received as I was asking the question of what are messages with the Cloak of Wisdom, visualization is very, very powerful. A lot of people can call it imagination, especially when we're children. Visualization is very powerful. And with the Cloak of Wisdom, like, know that you always have your Cloak of Wisdom. And if it helps, imagining, like, bringing forward your Cloak of Wisdom, and what does it look like? What is it? What color is it? What's the texture? What's the feeling? Like, getting very specific. And if that helps you, literally visualizing, saying, okay, I am putting on my Cloak of Wisdom. It could be a cape, it could be like a sweater, it can be whatever it is for you, but like imagining, okay, I'm putting on my Cloak of Wisdom and I'm going to go inward and I'm going to focus here for a moment and ask and really receive the inner guidance and trust the inner guidance that I receive. Like that still place, right? Where the answer just comes. And sometimes it takes a while to get there, to get to that moment of stillness, but even just bringing a couple of deep breaths, just wearing the Cloak of Wisdom, not even necessarily asking, like specifically what's here, I just need some stillness and I trust what's going to come forward. Wear that Cloak of Wisdom. And this, I think, is so beautiful. It's like, answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Your soul is always calling you forward into your highest alignment, into your resonance, your joy, what it is that excites you and ignites you, and what is most nourishing for you. Your soul is always calling you for that. So really tuning in again, like putting on that Cloak of Wisdom, which is like, I would like to imagine tying maybe a bow around the heart, the wisdom of the heart, and making sound so that all of the mental, the thoughts, can have safe passage through the gateway of the throat to drop down into the heart and become wisdom. Like, what is the wisdom here? And asking, okay, what is my soul calling me to do right now and in this moment? And that is most nourishing for me. And really trusting what that comes. And I'm hearing a lot of those of you who are tuning in live and then also tuning in, whether you're popping in and out or you're here on the replay, nature's coming in really strong. Like nature being on the earth is coming in really strong. So my invitation to you and to myself is to go out into nature today and often, even now in this winter time. I think that's one of the reasons why it's coming in, is because if you're in the northern hemisphere, is it's cold, and I think we find ourselves oftentimes at home a lot or inside a lot and not necessarily around nature often because it's cold. So we stay home, we stay in, we stay warm. My invitation to you is to bring forth and be in nature often, even if it's just for 10-15 minutes a day, where even if you go near your local tree, there's not a park near you, but there might be a tree, some grass, if there's snow around you, even connecting with the snow, that's nature as well. So connecting in nature, because there's something about being in nature and allowing yourself to attune to the stillness or the seeming stillness of nature, and then actually feeling into all of the things that are happening even in the wintertime, like the song of the birds, the pillar of the trees, squirrels running around, just like tuning into the stillness of nature and actually seeing how much is actually moving in the stillness. So that's something that came through. So if that calls for your soul, answer that call, go into nature, and then tune in. Like, what is your soul calling you to do? Is it to rest more, to meditate, to move your body, to eat certain foods, to call forth a teacher, a mentor? Like, just tune in, and it could be simple. Sometimes it's like adding a couple almonds to your day. Your soul's like, this is what I need. So I love that. I'm going to put the two cards together so you can see them together in their resonance. There we go. So Kuthumi, Cloak of Wisdom, you already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know and answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? And I love this because it's like, you already know. You really do. You really do. And sometimes we need help. Sometimes we need someone to help ask the question so we could get there. And that's okay. Again, that's a need. That's a beautiful thing to need. is to have a reflection from another soul, because we are all source, we're all God expressing ourselves in different forms, in different ways, different consciousnesses, and sometimes receiving reflection from another is really, really incredibly powerful. Such a stream today. I remember at the beginning of these, I was like, it won't be too long. But I do want to keep them up to about 30 minutes, no longer. So thanks for being here with me, who's tuning in live. Bill, I think you're tuning in live. So thanks for being here with me every day live. I really appreciate it. That's so lovely. And to all of you who are on the replay, so much love to you. So happy that you're here. And I'm going to tune in if there's any other spoken messages, and then if not, tune into the melodies of the day, the song, the angel song of today, and answer the call, patience and wisdom. And a reminder, know that you are loved. Know that you are loved always. I receive this beautiful image as a beautiful representation of patience. And I think this is an image that is used fairly often now. And I wanted to bring it here because it's what came through. Is the growing of a plant. You plant the seed and then you wait. You have patience until the seed sprouts and begins to grow. And whether it's a flower or a tree, and there's patience and there's a belief that yes, the plant will grow. Yes, the flower will bloom. But we don't know for sure if that will happen, right? We do our best to make sure the conditions are good, and in that space of patience, right? We plant the seed, we take the action, we plant the seed. And then we wait. And in that waiting for it to sprout, we water the seed, we make sure that it gets enough sunlight, and we maybe speak to the seed, to the seed, to the plant. And then we wait, even in those actions. And then, if it is all aligned, and most likely it will be, oftentimes it is, and sometimes it's not. We tune in, the flower will bloom and the tree will grow. So in the seeds that you are planting for what you are calling forward, be patient. Water the seed, nurture the seed, make sure it gets enough sunlight, the right amount of soil, all of the things to support it to grow, to support it to bloom. And it's the same with us. The seed of your desire, what it is that you want, or you're calling forward, or want more of, or, on an energetic level, really, because everything is energy. And when you plant that seed, you state that statement, whatever that looks like for you. How are you nurturing the seed in your patience to allow it to bloom? I love you. Thank you for being here with me. We are at 33, almost 34 minutes. I trust the time, and I trust the amount that comes through. Yes. Thank you for being here. I love you. My prayer is that these tones serve you and nourish you in your growing, in your planting, in your growing, in your patience, and in your blooming. Just a reminder that sometimes in some parts of our lives we are blooming. In other parts of our lives we are in the process of growing to bloom. And in others we are in our death and in our compost, in our transmutation, in our alchemy. So all of that can exist because it all exists now. I love you. My crystal loves want to say hello. They are here with me, with us every morning. I love them very dearly. I also have selenite here. I have 2 selenites. I'm holding one, and I have one in front of the computer. Love selenite. Selenite and I have a wonderful relationship. It's one of my favorite guardians and allies. And I have this beautiful angel wing child sleeping in angel wings that I was gifted this summer when I was in Poland. So just wanted to share who's here with us in the physical as well, supporting. I love you. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your day or evening whenever you're tuning into this. And yeah, allow patience to be your guide, our guide, teacher, reflector, and clarifying agent. I love you. I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. for day 7. Love you. See you tomorrow.